We are going to get into the trading. Let's get started right away. It's just going to be a 1 hour long session just to get you like the basic knowledge and steps you need to, get started, at least the easy way of doing it. So this is not financial advice. I'm not a guru. I'm not, one of those type of people. I'm just going to teach you what I know. For example, what I taught my mom for her to be successful and basically do it on her own. So again, this session will be about 1 hour long. We'll trade. The market doesn't open until 8:30. So 8:30 Central Time. We go off of New York time, obviously, for the market. So here, I don't know whatever your time zone is, but just know that in the next, about 24 minutes, that's when you should always get on Robinhood or whatever platform you're using to start trading, because that's when the market opens. Actually, for me, I like to get on about 4 to 5 minutes before market opens, just because typically you can kind of see, things can always change. Nothing is predictable, but you can kind of see the trend of like what you're going to be doing, what you're going to be trading, selling, buying, whatever the case is, right before the market starts. So I have this account up right now. So on this one, there is a buying power of 241. So we'll just use that to buy and sell a couple options today, just so you can get an idea of, how it goes about, how the process is of doing it. So I hope that everyone was able to set up their account. I did post a video about setting up the account. Basic knowledge on how to get that it's pretty, self-explanatory. Just get on there, sign up, put your info in to verify. And then from there, typically they do ask you some questions. I did have a few people reach out to me through Instagram asking why they don't have access to their account. And so I guess what Robinhood does is they want to make sure that you have a tolerance for risk, because obviously trading, it's a risk thing. You can lose, you can win, but nothing is guaranteed. So they want to make sure that you are, first of all, that you're not a professional trader, because there's different levels to this. For example, my account and majority of you guys' account will be like a level 2 account. And that's because you're trading options, or you could be a level 1 dependent. So the main thing is stocks, obviously. And then when you go from there, you go into whatever you're going to do, options, you can do stock trading. There's all different types. So the one that I do is options. So the way that is basically when you have a share or you have a stock, options just gives you an ability to, have some parts of that share without paying for the full thing. So it's 100. It's 100 contracts is one share or one stock. So with that being said, we can just start by going over the terms. And when we go over the terms, they're just basically the basic knowledge you need to know to trade, because this will be the easiest way for you to be able to understand. So we're not going to be going over how to do candlesticks and stuff like that. I feel like that's more complicated for someone who's trying to start off beginning trading. I didn't teach my mom that yet. She's been trying to watch a couple podcasts and stuff. Obviously, once you're dedicated and interested, you will learn more and more and understand more. That's how I'm self-taught, because I started just learning. I tried doing the YouTube way of watching videos, joining people's different podcasts and stuff, but the way I learn is not the typical way that others would probably learn. So that's probably why it didn't stick for me. So how I learned is I just started trading. Honestly, I did lose a lot of money, but I also gained a lot of money. So it was just one of those things of trial and error. I lost, but I was willing to lose. You have to be, whatever you're trading, you have to be willing to lose it. So if you're buying an option for $100, you got to be willing to lose that $100. That doesn't mean that you're going to lose the full 100, because basically how it goes is that you can only lose up to how much you put on a contract. So before we get into it, let me just hurry up and go through the vocabs and everything before the market opens. So when we're talking about shares, right, we're talking about the company itself. So let's just say we want to do, so you can trade any company, whatever is available on Robinhood. So for example, if we want to trade, let's do Apple. You can either type in Apple's full, name, or you can just go ahead, if you know the actual thing, you can just type it in. So AAPL, same thing. So same thing with Spotify, you just type in Spot, or you'll type in the full Spotify. But basically, that's how you can pull it up. So now, for example, let me just do Tesla. If there's a green check mark, that's because I have it added to the list. So I did post a video on YouTube. You guys can always go back and look at it and watch it. But on YouTube, that video explains how to add your little list down here. So for example, I have a list for crypto. This is all the cryptos or whatever. And then here's like the stocks that I have on this account. Now, if I want to create a list, so there's different lists I have here. So for me, this was when I first started trading, this little lightning sign right here. That was my first list I ever created. I never deleted it, whatever. So I have an options list right here. This options list is when I have been started trading, what I have traded. And basically when you do trade, the best thing to do is to know about the company. I keep seeing this all over the internet and it does make sense. Trade what you own. So you own, or like even having stocks or shares in what you own. So like you own an Apple, you own an iPhone, you own an iMac, whatever the case is, you definitely should be able to trade that. So for example, Meta, you know, everyone knows what Meta is, SPY, QQQ. So another thing that you need to know about stocks and shares is you need to know what you're trading. So for example, that helps a lot. So you need to know the company's financials. You need to know, you know, how they're doing. You need to know what the company is, what they do. You don't need to know all of everything, but just have a good idea of what you're trading, you know. So sometimes when I trade with people, I'll just tell them, you know, go buy this and we'll do this and this. But the thing is, at the end of the day, it's not financial advice, and I will never tell someone really when to sell. Like you can ask and I can recommend, but I will not really tell you when to sell, because at the same time, you can always hold on to a contract until the expiration date. So to start off, we're going to start with just explaining what the shares are. So these right here that you are looking at, I'm on the options list, obviously, but these are shares. Well, these aren't shares itself, but this itself is a company. That's a share. So a share or a stock basically represents the ownership in a company. So when you buy these shares, you're buying a part of that company. Obviously, you're not buying the full company, but you get the point. So you can buy a share by hitting this trade in the bottom right corner. This is also the mobile view. So this is how I trade, because that way I'm able to be on the go and trade from my phone. On the computer, on the desktop version, it will look a little different. You can still navigate and do the same things that we're going to do today on here, but it's just on the website. Obviously, you have an actual desktop, so everything's changed. So when you're on your mobile device and you want to trade, right? So things you have to look out for. So when you're starting to trade, there is a trade button in the bottom right corner. You will always hit that, and then you'll have two options here if your account is set up correctly. When your account needs to be set up correctly, you can find out by going to the little guy in the corner. Then you'll hit the 3 bars at the upper left corner. And this live is going to be recorded and reposted, so you can always go back to it. You need to find out what type of account you have. So you'll go to settings. Oops. Let me go back up here. Investing. So this is like your investing settings, whatever the case is. And when you go down here, you see how I was saying earlier, level 2 trading. So basically I'm an options trader. I have my account set to cash account. So there's two options of accounts you can have. A cash account allows you to day trade, right? So you can trade, buy and sell as many as you want in one day. So that is what I do with my mom, and be able to bring in that profit in a day, because you can find an entry for a stock option, and you can be like, okay, I want to buy this for this amount. You buy it, and then that stock option starts going up. You make $50, you make $80, you make $100, and you want to sell it right away and take your profit and go. Because that's the one thing I had to learn was discipline. How to not fall in love with your options. Don't fall in love with your profit, because what can happen is, because the market is unpredictable, you can be on a trend up making money on an option, and then eventually whatever comes up must come down. And when that happens, that's when you lose out. So I have a cash account because it's the best way to day trade. You can trade as in like buy today, sell tomorrow. And for those joining in, we are just reviewing some basics info before the market opens. If you have any questions, you can always put them in the chat, and we will go through them as we go through this live. So like I was saying, for the cash account, it allows you to buy and sell same day as many times as you want. The other option is called a marginal account. So when you're doing a marginal account, you cannot do it that way. Oh, back to the cash account. So when you are trading on a cash account, whatever you sell, you do not have access to those funds until the next day, because it has to be seen. When you have a marginal account, you are trading the money, like they're borrowing you money. So you're trading against the margin. So with that being said, you can trade like buy and sell in the same day, but you only can trade up to 4 to 5 times before they will stop you, and it's called pattern day trading, a PDT. You're only allowed to get 4 of those. I can't show you on this account because it's the cash account right now, but as you see down here, I don't have marginal investing. I disabled it because of the way I trade. For me, honestly, and probably for a lot of other traders, the best account to have is a cash account. But when I had a marginal account, this is how I found this out. Because when I had a marginal account and I was trading from the marginal point, the problem was that after I would sell my stock option, I'd have the money to trade right away. But the funds were not, they were not completed yet. So that's the only problem with that, is because then you wake up the next day when people were reaching out to me saying that their account were negative, that's because they didn't have settled funds. So Robinhood tried to go and get funds from your account. It did not work. So now they don't allow you to trade the next day. They'll either take the money from your profit. It becomes a whole mess. So to avoid all of that, and also we aren't allowed to pattern day trade, we just have a cash account. It's the easiest way to go. So with that being said, we're going to go to, no, I need the other one. We're going to go over the, because I'm just looking at the time here, and we have about 13 minutes before the market opens. Let me just go through the rest of this vocab real quick. So I was explaining a contract. So we're going to go on an options list here. If you don't have this set up, I did post a video of what options to make on your account. So let's just do Netflix. It's the top one. So when you want to hit trade, you're going to hit trade options, right? What I typically do, all this stuff below, it helps, but I ignore it. I don't really need this stuff, but it's just, these are strategies to have. It explains like what a spread is. If you want to do it, it helps you just, plan that type of stuff out. So what I do is, what you have to pay attention to is at the top here, these dates. Those dates are when your contract will expire. So what a contract is that it allows you the right to buy or sell shares at a specific strike price within a set time frame. So for, like I was saying before, one options contract represents 100 shares of the underlying stock. So this is why when we want to trade a contract, the price will be cheaper than buying the actual Netflix itself. So if I go back here, you'll see the price of Netflix. To own a share in Netflix, it's $867. But if we're going to do options, we can make our contract expire on the 24th. So whenever you are doing a contract, the date of when your contract is going to expire is at the top. So how I like to say the contracts with my mom, I taught her to say it this way to make it easy, especially when you're talking to people, right? I'm going to make, you have calls and you have puts, right? So when you are doing a call option, that gives you the option right away to buy an option that's saying that the strike price is going to hit this. So it's basically saying when you're doing a call, it's like you're picking up the phone to make a call. So think about call means going up, put means going down, like you're putting the phone down. So when you are doing a call option, you think the stock price will go up. When you are doing a put option, which is this, you think the stock price will go down. So when you are betting, right? Well, not really betting, whatever you want to call it. But when you are trading, if I'm doing a call, whatever is below the share price means it's already in the money. ITN. That means that the option has an extrinsic value. So, for example, when you say, okay, Netflix is going to hit $865. The share price for Netflix right now is $867, meaning that it is already in $865. So when you are looking over here to the right side of the screen, you have these numbers here, right? Because we said it's 100, right? You're always going to read, how I read it automatically is this says 3,500. You're going to move the decimal 2 points. So you can always read it as $35, but it's not really $35. You're going to multiply it by 100. So I automatically trained my brain, and my mom did the same, to read it as 3,500. So the reason why the price of this is 3,500 is because it's already in the money. But the price above, which is 870, it's not in the money yet because Netflix did not hit 870 yet. So that's why this price is cheaper than that price. Same thing with put. You're just gonna look at it the opposite way. The share price for Netflix is $867. We're saying that this Netflix will go below 870. So the 870 is already in the money. And that's why the price to buy a contract, which you can still make money, because if you put a put in for $870, you're already in the money. And so as it keeps dropping lower, if Netflix goes low today, this will always continue to make money as you're already in the money. Now, these prices below the share price number, so the 865 put, since it did not hit 865 yet, this price is cheaper. But as you got to remember, as your share price is moving closer and closer and closer to your strike price, the strike price value at the right side is going to go up and up and up. And that's how you make your money. That's where your profit comes in. So right now, it's 865 put for $4,125. If this Netflix dropped to 8.6, this price for a put will go up. And then if you bought this on your home screen, it'll show you a plus whatever it's going up by. So plus 100, plus $50, plus whatever. But this price will be going up. And that's why when you want to find your entry price, because when you find your entry, you can get in and buy your option before it's going one way or another. You can always, while it's moving up and down, still buy in. Because sometimes I like to wait and see like, okay, SPY is going up right now, but maybe around 10:30, it's going to start going down. You never know. So for me, I noticed a trend of, I like to wait. Sometimes I'll go in right away. I was supposed to use my mom's account so you guys can see the options already really played, so you guys can understand it better, but we're just going to use this account. So what I'm saying is, when you are going in on the market, right, you want to make sure that you don't know if it's going to go up or down, which is why these expiration dates at the top play a part, because now this means that I have until January 24th for the option to expire. Meaning, if I'm going to put an option, I'm going to say, okay, Netflix is going to hit 865. I will have until January 24th at the top here for it to hit 865. So if I want to do a call, Netflix is going to hit 870. I'll have to January 24th. When you are buying options, right, you're also buying time. So if you notice, the 870 call is $3,330 right now. Well, it just dropped 50 cents, whatever. But so actually, if it would have put, the price would have changed that way. This is not moving. The numbers on the right are not moving because the market's not open yet. But when you are doing an option for, you're buying time. So notice that the 870 call is $3,330 right now. On January 31st, the 870 call is $3,535. The difference is you bought time. You are buying time, if that makes sense. Anyone have any questions so far? I know I'm kind of all over the board here, but is there any questions? Okay, so if there's no questions, we'll just keep going because the market's about to open. So when I said in the money, that means that your strike price, or what you called was going to happen, happened. When you are out of the money, it means that it went the opposite direction. So let's just say we put in a call for Netflix and Netflix actually starts going the opposite way. You're going to see your money that you invested decreasing. That's when you sell. Sometimes you can hold and wait because it can reverse and start going back up the other way and it's just testing you. Not testing you, but obviously it's just like a tester. But typically, you don't want to sit there and watch your money go out of the money because then now you lost the full $100 that you put in. So if the stock price that you did was for $500, then so basically you're determining which market will go and you get it based off of that. Yes. So this is like we are trading the trend. So when you do the candlesticks, you're actually like marking your prices, and that's a whole different ballpark and different world. But in this one alone, we are just basically trading with the trend. I find it the easiest way to start for beginners. Because then you can actively see, oh, the market is trending up, so I'm going to trade up. I'm going to put some call options in. Oh, the market is trading down, so I'm going to trade down. I'm going to put some put options in. Now, a good trick that does work if you're buying an option that has time, if I see that an option, like a contract, if I buy it, let's just say we want Netflix to go to 870, right? And it starts reversing and it actually goes down. The price for 870 will be cheaper that is a good time to buy because you want to buy low and sell high. So if the 870 call right now is 3,535 and then it drops, right? Because the share price is dropping. This 3,500 is going to start dropping to 3,400, whatever, however much it goes down by. That's a good time to buy in for a longer call. So if it was just January 24th, I would actually buy a call for January 31st because I know it doesn't matter that Netflix is going down right now. We are in bull season. So there's two seasons. There's bull season and bear season. This would have been helpful for me to know when I first started trading, but obviously trial and error, so it's okay. Bull season is basically when you're basically saying that the markets are all up. The markets will just keep trending up. Bear season is when it's going the opposite way. It's going down. So think about like a bear. A bear will hit the ground on all fours, right? It's going down. Bulls, when bulls attack, they are attacking people. They're hitting someone going up, if that makes sense. So just remember, bull means up, bear means down. You'll see it a lot of time in like the stock news and stuff of that. They'll say, oh, the bears say this, the bulls say this. They are talking about the two different ways of the markets, right? And there's people behind it and everything. So like this stock market goes so deep, but I only do the surface stuff, and that's what I can teach you guys. This is also not financial advice. Again, this is just what I know. I'm showing you so you can understand it. And obviously I know this won't be able to be caught in one, session. So it will be weekly sessions, though I do have to go to Nigeria next week or next following. Regardless, though, we will continue this, and I'll keep posting. And you can always just reach out to me on Instagram, ask me questions. I'm always willing to help that way too. We'll also be doing some one-on-one sessions also, so you guys can actually get it better that way. Because I feel like speaking in a group is harder versus when I'm speaking by person, it's way easier, and you can follow and ask questions as you get them. So going back here, we are going to go to the home screen. Let's see. It's 8:27. Because the way I can explain this better is when the market is open, because then you can just really understand it easily. I did try to put in a call last week for Tesla. I have 2 minutes before the market opens. Let me just show you this real quick. So this was bought last week, Friday, right? It was bought. When you want to know about the option that you bought, you can always just hit it. And how you can simulate to see how much you'll make. So I think that this was in a negative when it was bought. At the price it was bought, because right now it's currently $433, and I get a call for $505. Tesla, you trade by the week. So I have until Friday for this option to expire. See right there, it says January 24th. The date I bought it was January 17th, last Friday. If I want to see how much I'll make or how much I'll lose, you hit that simulate my returns. Right now, this option is in a negative. If I want to see like, okay, so how much do I need for it to go back to the positives? You scroll. Notice the direction I'm scrolling. And then as it goes, the price in the upper left corner is changing. So for me, because of the time that I bought this and what it was bought at, for an example, in order for me to start making money, I need Tesla to go back up. And it needs to at least start at 470. So with that being said, because it's already in the negatives, which you don't know which way the markets will go, because when the market opens, everything changes. Matter of fact, the market opens in 1 minute. So that's actually even better. So we're just going to sit on a home screen for a minute here and just let it, because you're going to see what happens. This number next to the Tesla option, and this is your home screen. This is always the best screen to go. When you need to see like all your options, whatever you have, like on my mom's page, she has 26 options right now, 26 contracts. So you see Tesla opened. I'm going to hit this button, number 1. I'm going to change this to today's returns so I can see where I'm at. So you guys saw that it was negative 70. I'm just going to have to let this thing die so you guys can see what I'm doing here. But you guys saw that it was negative 70. So that's from last week. But now it regulated. The market's regulated because this is an after-hour trading stock. So different stocks do different things. So this one, it's negative 26 because of the time that I bought it. The price that I bought it at is no longer that price. So when I bought this stock, I bought it at $84. So what I was saying before is you don't need a lot of money to start. This stock option only costs $84. When I bought it, it was zero. Then it went positive, up $40. And I was going to sell it, but I said, let me just hold it because I need to use it for an example for today's session. So because I held it, instead of taking that profit, Tesla went down. Over the weekend, it went up, down, it did its thing, and now we're at a negative 31. So Robinhood would also tell you if you're not actually on the market, it'll tell like, oh, your option is down 20% today to this, or it's up to this. It'll tell you too. So if you're doing one of those type of trades where you're not day trading actively, at least Robinhood would send you notifications. So that's a good thing about that. So if I want to go ahead and do an option, so what I was saying is, this is how you would sell if you want to sell your option, or from the home screen, just swipe over and sell it that way. But I'm going to show you guys real quick. So view all options. So remember when I was saying I bought this for $80? Because Tesla's actively going down, the price is no longer $80. It's $39. So I'm actively losing money. So what you shouldn't do is just let it sit there and let it lose. But I'm just, for this purpose, I'm going to let it go. But you should sell it, because then you can at least take whatever's left of your money back. Now, if I was buying something else, let me find something that's in the positive. Oh yeah, and then there's a little picture for you there. You can see it's losing. So let's just say, let's see what SPY is doing. You can always go to that options list and go quickly to do it that way. Here's Spotify. So Spotify is a different type of stock, because this one jumps up $11, or it'll jump up $20 in one day, or it can go down that much in one day. So for example, when SPY is trading down, oh, that's a watch I did. That's why there's a green check mark there. If you're watching something, there'll be a green check mark next to the actual number. But since SPY is trending down, look at the price of the puts. They're expensive. The price of the calls are expensive when you're close to the money, but as you get farther away, it's cheaper because it's trending down. Now, you got to remember the market just opened, because sometimes the way this market works is you can log in right away at market and you'll have a whole bunch of profits that you're going to sell right away. Or if you want to like keep it, hold on to it, and maybe, see it's going to happen. You may not need to sell it right away. You may have to wait and sell it a day later if it's in the negatives, dependent. So it's up to you. So that's why I say you never really want to tell someone when to buy or sell, because typically they can wait and they'll make more money. Like there was a contract my mom sold last Friday. She sold it at the beginning of the hour. It was like 8:40 a.m. She sold it. She made $1,300. I went back on that same stock to check the price of it. That stock actually had a profit of $3,500. So that if she would have held on to that option, she would have made way more money. But she played it safe and took the profit that she already had. So now, how much money you make on an option depends on, one, how many contracts you put, and two, how close you are to the strike price. So to the share price. So with Spotify, you see how this says 940 right above the share price, because the current share price is $4.95. So there's other things that will impact, obviously, the stock market. So the news, right? That's another thing. Like when you see those people on the movies and TVs and they're in like the stock world and they got like 5 different screens in front of them, that's because they are following financials, they are following the news, they are following the candlesticks, they are following the chart, they are actually following the stock itself. So they are following all types of things. We're not going to do all that, but it is good to know when those things come into effect. Because, for example, when Trump won the election, it pumped a lot of money into the stock market. So when we were option trading, we were trading a lot of calls because everything was shooting up. And I'm talking about $20, $30. And the reason why I do options over doing actual shares is because if I buy this Spotify right now, I would have to spend $4.92 to buy Spotify. And so if Spotify is up $6 today, as you can see right below in the little green triangle, I would have only made $6 off of Spotify. But if I bought the option for Spotify, depending on the time I buy it and everything, let's just say I bought an option. Let's just say I bought that 500 option because there's a green check mark there, right? Before today, Spotify was down, right? Because we're going to hit this 1 week, whatever. You see how down here, I don't know if you guys can see that well, but last week, January 15th, it was 465. And today, it's 492. That means if I would have bought the option last week, if I would have bought the stock itself from 465 to 492, my profit would have only been $27, right? Or actually $32, whatever it is, right? But if I was doing an option, this price would have been way more. So you see how right now the price is $9.90. Last week when it was sitting at $4.60, let's just say $4.60, that price was not $3,600, but it got to there because this price is in the money. So let me actually just go through the stuff of actually buying an option. So the options I like to mainly focus on, typically, especially when I'm not seriously trading, would be the three like QQQ, NVIDIA, and SPY. So NVIDIA is an AI stock. I'm sure you guys are hearing about this all in the news and everything because it's AI and it's up $2 today, right? Typically, whatever trend NVIDIA is doing, QQQ, which is a tech stock, is going to be typically doing the same thing. So they're not obviously the same stocks. So they're not exactly doing the same thing, but you see this one is up, NVIDIA's up. Same thing with SPY. Those ones all typically trend the same way. So SPY is up. So if I'm going to do SPY because they're just cheap and I can just show you real quick. So we're going to buy a SPY option. So right now it's sitting at 600. We're going to go to trade options. So 0 DTE means 0 days to trade, right? So 0 day trade expiration. So today, we're going to make it expire today just for the purposes of learning, right? We're going to do one, like I said, you see how it's a 603 call is $50? Now it's 51 because SPY is trending up. I'm going to buy it. So buy. So right here at the top, right under limit order, there's one option. So that's one contract I'm buying. So there's a bid price and there's an ask price. So you want this option to actually execute. So you typically just let them put the number for you. But if you want to trade a different number or whatever, you can too. So the max cost. Would be $50 right now. So it went up $1, it went back down. So I'm just going to buy it. Oh, now it's actually trending down. Hold on. I don't want to lose too much. Okay, so. But actually the market just opened. So let's do it. Whatever. We're buying it. And actually when you actually hold off like that, now I just saved $2 because I was going to buy it at 51 or whatever the case is. And now it's 48. You're just going to hit review. So the max cost means this is how much the most you can lose from this option. That $46 right there. Review. Swipe up. We just bought a contract. We just bought an option. It says orders fulfilled. Not right now. Okay. So let's see, that is plus $1. That means I made $1 already off of trading a SPY contract. You know what? I'm not even going to lie to you guys. I'm about to sell this Tesla. I'm going to sell the Tesla so you guys can see how to do it. I should have sold it earlier. So Tesla's negative $51, 52. To sell, swipe over. That's how much is left of what I bought it at. So remember, I bought it at $80 because Tesla is negative. Actually, I lied. I'm not going to sell because I just remembered this is expiring on the 24th. I'm going to let this sit. If it goes out of the money, let it. Because Trump is now in office, this one can go up and down. Maybe it's down today. It'll be probably back up tomorrow, whatever the case is. So we're just going to leave that alone. But basically, that's how you would sell. You can swipe over, or if you're on it, hit the trade, hit the sell, review, and that's how you sell. At the top, it'll say sell Tesla 505 call for January 24th. And that's how you would sell. So we're looking at SPY right now. So I like to have it on total return. So to change how you want to view it, today's return is just showing you what it did today. But I feel like that's confusing because typically everyone knows green means good, red means bad. So when I have it on total return, it's telling me total. I lost $1 on the SPY option I did today. Total for Tesla, I lost $59 today on that. But remember, because of the expiration date for Tesla, I have until the 24th to sell, meaning this Tesla, obviously between now and Friday, can come back up. Versus SPY, because I bought it with an expiration date of today, between now and the end of the stock market day, which Central Time, that's 3 p.m. I'm not sure whatever time zone you guys are in, but whatever time zone you're in, just know we are going off of New York time, so Eastern time. So whenever their market closes, that's when our market closes. So if you are an hour behind New York, then you're going to be closing when we close, whatever the case is. So that's just how it goes. We start at 8:30 Central time. When you're living in the time zone of Central Time Zone, and then we end at 3. Now, some stock options will go until about 3:15, or it'll tell you you can trade this stock till 3:15, but it will not let you buy a stock option to end that same day at around 2:30 Central Time when you're trading on Central Time. So looking back at the SPY option here, it's in the negatives and it's trending down, right? But we already saw from NVIDIA, they're trending down. QQQ, trending down. So what I would do, trade options, let's just do today. I would do a put. The reason I'm doing a put, because it's trending down. Now, you can buy closer to the share price because they're quicker to get in the money. But we're just it's already at 521.86. So buying this right now, did it just reverse? Let's see. Yes, it just reversed. Now it's going up. So that's what I'm saying by this thing can really go up and down. Now, the good thing about QQQ, SPY, and all these type of options, it does not jump up and down $10, $20. It goes gradually up, gradually down. But when you're doing an option like Spotify, that's one that jumps up and it jumps down. So that's the one where, unless you're really ready to sit there and watch it, I don't recommend trading Spotify right away. But if you do want to see some funds really pull in, study it, understand it, look at the candlesticks for Spotify, and then go in. You will make a lot of money. I did that with my mom, and that was one of the times where she made, like, within the first couple minutes, it was like $2,000-$3,000 right off the bat, because we already studied it and we understood what was going to go on. And then as it was going on, we were just, watching it and then just taking profit when we can. So for example, today, this is trending down. We're going to buy a put option. And we're going to do a 0 DTE just because. So let's just buy this one, a 518. So your contract does not have to be close to the share price. As this one is going down, you see how I'm actively making money with it? So buy, review. So now, when I go back to the home screen, you see how QQQ is making me some money? Because it's actively trending down. So now this is my screen. This is my option screen. It's telling me right here, I bought it at whatever. What did I buy it at? Whatever I bought it at, it's plus $7. So that means I bought it at $58. Now it's plus whatever the dollars. But if I want to see QQQ itself and what it's doing, I hit that upper right corner, hit view QQQ, and that's what the actual market is doing. So market just opened. So this is typical at the start. Basically, you never know which way to go because the market is unpredictable. But we do know, again, we are in a bull season, meaning everything is still going to go up. So obviously, daily options will go up and down. The shares will go up and down. But overall, 1 month trend, it's in the green. It's up. You see how the graph is trending upwards? Now let's just say a year trend. Oh, wow. It actually went up $112. But we're in bull season. So now when we go to bear season, and you guys go back on this, and you'll see these graphs will be going the opposite direction. It'll be red because it's going down. Everything's going down. See, I took my eye off the prize. Now look, the put option I put is now going negative because it's going upwards. So basically, when you are trending, you do kind of have to sit on here if you're buying something that expires the same day. Now, if you have time in that whatever you're buying, then you actually technically don't have to sit and watch it eye for eye. But it's good to sit and watch because then you can know when to take your profit right off the bat. So basically, what I was showing you guys today is basically how to buy and sell a put and a call option. So we bought a call, the SPY call. Now, remember, it's early. Market literally just opened 15 minutes ago. We have all day. So if you already have options sitting from, previous days, whatever the case is, when the market opens, like Tesla was in a negative when it opened. If it was in a positive, I probably would have sold it. But it was in a negative, so I'm going to let it sit. So when the market opens and you see any positive here, if you feel like you made a good, decent amount of money and you don't know if it's going to go up or down. You won't really typically know. Like for me, I try to wait for my entries to go in to buy more options for the rest of the day, the rest of the week, the next day. I wait until about between like 9:30, 10:30 10:30 to 11, that's when I know like it regulated, and I know like, okay, so most likely for the rest of the day, QQQ will be going up or it'll be going down. So around those times are the times I really like to go in and watch, like, okay, yes, this is going to be trending up for the rest of the day. Let me put some calls in. And then you can either put for the same day because it'll be way cheaper, or you can put for the next day because whatever the case is. Now, because this put, I know that QQQ is going to start going up because that's the dip. I'm actually going to sell this, and I'm going to buy, because this is expiring today. So I just sold that option. So literally it was just the same way as if you're buying it, but you're doing the opposite. It executed, so now it's sold. But I'm actually going to go in and buy because I saw that QQQ is now reversing. It's about to start going up. I'm going to buy this, but I'm going to buy it for tomorrow. I recommend, since we're starting out, to buy for the next day. I don't recommend buying same day unless it's like actively trending for the rest of the day. You can tell like it's just going to stay up. But if you're starting out, at least give yourself a day of time. I believe Apple is weekly too. Yeah, so for Apple, if you look at the dates at the top, January 24th, January 31st, it's all by the week that you can trade, which is typically good because for Apple, it's doing this, but I promise you guys this will come up. That's usually what happens with Apple for some reason. I don't know why. So the reason why I like the line graph is you can kind of actively see the little dot going up. Let me actually see what the prices are. So the call prices aren't even that expensive. If you notice here, you can get a call price for $80. So you can spend $80 and it won't expire till Friday, meaning this price of $221 until Friday, this thing will go up. I can guarantee that one. But basically, right now it's actively going down. So with that being said, you have until this Friday to buy this to execute your contract. And so it doesn't hurt to buy weekly because then you have more time. But when you're doing day trades and stuff of that, when you know you're going to sell within the next day or two, shoot, I should have bought that. I know I'm going to sell within the next day or two. So I'm going to buy this call real quick. I'm just going to do, I don't even know how much buying power I have left. I didn't even pay attention to that. Let's see. Okay. So I bought this one that's more, it's more towards in the money, right? Replace. So if your option did not execute, it's going to say pending, meaning that it shot up too quick for me to buy it at the price I wanted to buy it at. So I was trying to buy it at $130. It's now worth $140. So I got to replace order, continue. I might have to put money back in here. Yeah. So when you don't have enough buying power, so if you have not dumped money into your investing because you want to just keep some money off of there, is the live frozen or can you guys still? So if you don't have enough money on there, then basically you have to deposit money. And how you do that is just the same review as if you're going to buy an option. It'll say deposit funds. You can deposit. Okay, so I'm short $17. I'll go get it from whatever account I want to get it from. Transfer. I probably should have transferred more because this is actually actively shooting up. But it'll transfer the money. Okay, done. It's taking the money out of my account. No. So we're going to buy it for today. Go back here. It's -5. So what I like to do when there's a case like this, when I bought an option for this much, but I know it's going to go up, I'll go back in and I'll buy another one at a negative price because it's going to sell it to you at the average price. So when your stock is in the negative like this, go back and buy another. I would go back and buy another one. So now the price of this contract is $24. So I could just go back, buy this, deposit the funds. Oh, wait, I guess I have some in there. Oop. Well, basically, deposit funds, and that's how I would go back in and buy another one. But this is too far from the price for me to buy another 505. It's going to go up anyways, but it's actually shooting down. So Tesla would have been great to put in right now. As you can see from the call option, the call is going up and down. So I could choose right now to take profit on this SPY call and just take my $14. And now I just made $14, meaning I started off with $46 and I turned my $46 into $58. So that's how people make money. You can scale your account small by small and, okay, I want to make 20 bucks today. Let me get on here, play an option for a call or a negative. I made 20 bucks. That's my goal for today. I used to have a goal of 300 and that worked for me because I knew I just had to make 300 a day. So when I actually made more, it was actually even better. You made more, you exceeded what you expected to make. It's really not that hard to make money on here just by doing that simple buy and sell, which is why I definitely recommend having a cash account. Because if you have the marginal account and you make more than 4 PDTs within 5 consecutive days, so you can buy and sell today, buy and sell tomorrow, 2 times, buy and sell the next day, another time. That just means that you have hit the PDT and now you have to have $25,000 sitting in your buying power to be able to continue to buy and sell. Not everybody has that laying around, understandable. So I recommend having a cash account so you can avoid that and you can buy and sell and scale your account. So you just bought SPY for $10 call, expires today at 6:06. So let's go to SPY. So you got a call, trade via all options. So you got a 6:06 for $10. Okay. So now it's expiring today. So you have until the end of the day for that to expire. It's at $10. Obviously, SPY is sitting at 6:01. Once it finishes its trend of actually going up, your 6:06 will start making you money. Right now it's plus 11% today. So if you just watch it, it'll start going up. Now, obviously, closer to the share price are the numbers that move the quickest. But as you gradually go up, these ones will start going up too. So it's just like a trend when things are all pushing up or if they're all pushing down. So if you just watch, are the higher prices cheaper because of the time? So when you say higher prices, are you referring to the price of the contract? Because if you're referring to the price of the contract, it's cheaper because you're basically saying, so Robinhood is telling you that the share price is 601 and you're saying that it's going to hit 605. So basically it has to climb through 602, 603, all the way to 605, meaning that's why it's cheaper because it's more than likely, it can happen. It will happen in bull season, right? But it's not as likely to happen if it's going to be going the opposite direction. I don't think I said that correct. So let me say it this way. Because it's farther away, it's cheaper. If it's closer to the share price, it's going to be more expensive because then you're going to hit the strike price and you're going to be in the money. Meaning Spotify, Robinhood, or whatever the market has to pay you. So the reason why it's cheaper is because you're saying, okay, it's going to hit this price. This price is all the way up here. And they're saying most likely it's not going to hit that price, even though it is. So it's cheaper because it's further away from the share price. Closer to the share price, it's more expensive. Same thing with a put. I'm saying SPY is going to hit 598. So because it's expiring today, number one, I'm not buying any time. That's why it's cheaper to buy it because it's expiring today. Because if I said it's going to expire tomorrow, look at the price difference. The 598 is $170 tomorrow to expire. But today to expire, $598, $94. But again, it's cheaper than the $599 because it's not as close to the share price. So it's $599 is already in the money. $598 is already away from the money. So if we're going to go back out here. So now the SPY is negative. What's today? The 21st. So because I did not sell, now my SPY is negative. We're going to view SPY. It's trending down again. Let's view QQQ. So this is why I don't like to trade right away. For me, my strategy in the morning is I like to take profit on the ones I already put in. And then I'll wait for the market to kind of regulate. And then I'll, put my next put or call options in for like the next day or the same day, whatever I want to do. So QQQ is going back up. So what I was negative at, it's trending back up. My chart right here, it's trending back up. So now I'm getting back the money I lost. Same thing with SPY. SPY is negative, but it's trending back up. the actual SPY itself, you can see here, trending up. So you always want to just start at the home screen. So now today, total, I'm negative $79. Why? Because of all of these. So it's telling you the trend of today. It went down because my options all went down, but as it's gradually going up, my option price is going up. So now, as you see down here, the buying power now is sitting at $22. So I can either add more to this and buy some more, trade some more, which I'm not going to because I want to actively trade after this live. But just here, as you can see, the buying power, $22 if I want to add more. You see how it's an unsettled fund of 48? Once that settles, I'll have $22. I can deposit more. And so when you're actively trading and you have a cash account, it's always good to leave money sitting in your buying power because you never know when you need to go back in and snatch something up real quick. Like if you get an entry to buy something, Spotify is about to start going back up, it looks like. So I will have to go over this again. I think just because today was like the initial, info session, I kind of rushed through a lot of things just to get into the market. I will also do trading later on in the day, not today, but I'm just saying on a live session. So you guys can see it when it's already regulated and how it works. And I can explain, the options better in that case. Because right now, so these options are going to sit. I will post on my threads what ends up happening with these two options that expire today. But typically in a case like this, because it is, we are in bull season, even if it doesn't go up today, it will go up at least by the end of this week. For sure, tomorrow, whatever the case is. But these options go up and down. So as long as you pay attention, you're sure to make money. As long as you know what's going on, you're sure to make money. So as long as you understand those terms, I did post a video because I know I didn't really fully go through them and explain them well. But there's a video posted on the YouTube of explaining these terms that you need to know. Once you know these terms, which you'll understand it better and better as you trade, literally, it's that easy. Listen, I taught my mom. My mom does not learn anything. I'm telling you, she still needs help posting Facebook posts. Self-explanatory. But she was able to learn options easily. So does anyone have any questions? Again, we'll have to do more sessions of these so you can actually just get it. Just actively watching how it works, you can understand it. And if you want to actually just play around and try, like faking buying for an option, for a call or a put, you can do by adding to a watch list. So if I'm going to trade, view all options, there's a number here. So we'll say 524 call. Is this thing lagging? Oh, no, it's not. Okay. You can always add to watch list. When you want to add something to a watch list right here, you click under the bar right there. You click add to watch list. So I did a 523 call watch list. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to do a 523 put. Add to watch list. Now we're going to open. Now, if I did buy this option, you can tell, it's basically telling you what would have happened, right? So if you're not ready to actually trade the money yet, I would recommend doing some watch list ones where you'll do a put, you do a call of something that you think you wanted to buy. And as you see at the top here, it has a late close, meaning this has an extra 15 minutes. This is what I was explaining earlier, how I was saying that things close, everything closes, but there are some options that close early. How long did it take you to learn? So it actually took me, it took me, I would say a few months to learn. But how I really learned, I don't want to say I learned right away because like I said, you can watch YouTube videos and stuff, but to really learn is to actually be trading with the market because the market is different every day. This is not like some basic knowledge for like if you're learning how to be like an administrative assistant or how to use Microsoft Word or something. With the markets, when you are learning, you are actually learning because the trend of today is not going to be the trend of tomorrow. Or if it's trending up today by $50, tomorrow it may only trend up by 20, or it may trend down by 10. So to learn is to actually trade the stock options itself. And as you are trading it, understanding what the put is, what a call is, and all of those will help you understand how to go about trading, and that helps you understand how to trade. Again, my mom learned this stock when I was teaching her. I taught her on one-on-one sessions, which I will start doing One-on-one sessions will start most likely next week. This week, I actually want to trade myself without having to teach and make some money, obviously, because I've been teaching her for the past 2 weeks, so I haven't been able to trade on my own account. But just for example, though, I will start doing one-on-one sessions. You guys can purchase them. It'll be $20 a session. You can go ahead and sign up. If you want to, I will drop the link for that. You can go ahead, or you can reach out to me on Instagram. We'll set up a time, and we'll do a one-on-one session. We'll trade throughout the whole day, and you can just actively see it going on. I'll recommend what you should do. Not financial advice. I'll just say, like, if it was me, this is what I would do, because, I'm not, certified or professional of any of this. I'm just doing what I know, what I've seen worked. And through my other friends, I have a couple stockbroker friends too. They have actually helped me learn too, because as I was doing one-on-one sessions with them, obviously they had more knowledge than I did. So they were explaining, so this is why this is a put. Notice this is going this way or going that way. So I was actively seeing it and learning it, because I'm a hands-on learner. I know some people, they can learn by just watching videos, and that's best. I wish I could learn that way, but I can't. So for me, I was actively doing the market, but I will say the most I learned is when I lost money, because that hurt. For example, the most I lost in a day when I started trading was $5,000. And you would think, like, whoa, that's a lot. And at first, around that time, it was like, geez, I lost $5,000. But as I actively traded more and more, my gains were way more than my losses. So, like, the most I made in a day, let me see. I actually wrote it down, so I'm gonna have to go back to it. But the most I made a day was a lot more than what I've lost in a day. So I'll mention it on my next live when I go back and check what it is. I want to give you guys exact numbers and everything. So, but regardless of the matter, I'm going to drop an email below here on the chat. And this email is how you can sign up for one-on-one sessions. Just send me an email and we'll schedule it. You can tell me what day you want to trade, this and that. And the good thing is, when you schedule the one-on-one sessions, I know people have work, because this is only stock market hours. You cannot trade after hours. We are not allowed to do that. So when we are doing our one-on-one sessions, if you have to work or something like that, we will start off with the trading. But if you have to hop off for work, I will still actively watch and reach out to you. So that way you're not really losing money, unless you're doing like a trade that's going to be like a long call, which means a long call is it's not going to expire today or this week. It'll probably expire like a couple weeks from now. So my Instagram is that you can reach out to me also is N as in Nancy, VGERIAN. So just take the word Nigerian and change the first I to a V. That's my Instagram. You can reach out to me on there. I'm more active on there. I now know to check my filter requests, because I guess a lot of messages were going in there. So I was responding back to people late, not knowing to check that. But now I have it actively set up. So you can reach out to me on there. I dropped the email too. You can go ahead and email me if you want to trade one-on-one. If not, we'll be back on for a live session to also just do basic info again, basic learning, just, surface level. I just want you guys to all understand. Once you guys understand the basic surface level, you honestly won't need no one to trade with you. It's fun to trade together, because when someone's watching one thing, you can watch another, and then you just like, hey, go check this one out, or get in on this one, whatever the case is. So that's why I like to trade with my friends when I trade. I did join a couple Discords, and I do trade that way sometimes, but I feel like with those, it just sometimes becomes a lot, because you have multiple people throwing out different ones at different times. It's like, geez, you don't know where to start, where to go. Versus if you're trading with just like 2-3 people, it's easily like you got these people are saying, watch this one, or go buy this one, or this or that, and it works way better. So again, the email is reachoutchristy@gmail.com. Just send me an email, or you can reach out to me on Instagram, and we can go from there. Sorry about this. This live is a little bit all over the place. First time doing this, but we'll get better as we progress and everything as the days go by. But again, the main goal of this is to get everybody trading the basics, that you don't need anyone to help you trade, just to get you to understand the basic knowledge that you need to trade surface level trading. So what we're trading here is we're trading the trend. It's not always good to trade the trend, because also there's things that happen where, I just thought about this. This is actually going down. That's fine, whatever. But it's not always good to trade the trend, because, for example, when you're distracted and doing stuff like that and you have something expiring today, I'm already negative $60. Now, had I not sold that QQQ put, but I sold it so you guys can see how to sell an option, that QQQ put would have been in the money, and I would have sold it and took my profit. So now the QQ call is out of the money, and then I can either let it expire the rest of the day, which I will, just because looking at it right now, I spent $133 on it. It's negative 51. So I'm just going to let it go for a little bit more because it's only 9:05 a.m. and we are in bull season. So just because it's negative right now doesn't mean that it will not go back to the positives and even go past it and into the money. So I'm just going to let that go. But if it was a put option and I was negative $80 or so, I would definitely sell, because what's the point? If I spent $100 on it, it's already negative 80. I'll either take my $20 back or just let it go out of the money. But anywho, go ahead and reach out to me on email. You can reach out to me on Instagram. We'll get back on for another live session, and this time I'll be able to go through and we'll just focus probably on one stock option just so you guys can understand it better, and we'll just go through the whole thing on a slower standpoint just to get it. But as you just actively watch it and actively do it and just watching me do it, you'll definitely catch on and learn it. Honestly, again, it took my mom more, like, I would probably say a week of me teaching her and actively trading together for her to understand it. And then like the most recent 9K day that she had, she actually did most of the trading on her own. I was just still there, like, telling her like, okay, maybe you shouldn't, hold off, don't sell yet, or go ahead and sell. But she was the one making the calls, making the puts, choosing the companies and stuff of that nature. She was too excited. I mean, there was a time I hopped off, I told her I have to go make a video for the YouTube. I said, don't trade, don't put your contracts in for the next week. This was on last week, Friday. I get back on the phone with her before the market closed to tell her, okay, let's put some contracts. And she said her money gone. She had $5,000 in buying power. She spent all of it to buy her contract. She got 26 contracts today. So when I get off this live, I got to get on the phone with her and see what's going on with her. I know she's probably in a frenzy because her Tesla calls are down, but that's okay because she has until the end of the week to sell her Tesla contracts. But it's 9:07 now, so I do want to hop off and actually trade the right way and trade for real. But again, reach out to me on Instagram. You can email me and we can set up time. Or if you just have questions, I'm always here. Even if you can't do the live session, one-on-one sessions, if you just have questions, want me to look at something, just send me a message. I always help you. I don't mind helping. So thanks for joining in on the live, and we will probably get together again next week for an hour. Maybe I'll see if we'll do a different time to do it, maybe during the trading hours so y'all can see it better, or maybe we'll do it before, whatever the case is. But yes, just getting this all set together, because I've never done anything like this of actually leading and training people on trading. So it's more of one-on-one that I've always done. So this is different for me. So I'm just, understanding and navigating it. But again, I will also be posting videos, just informational videos on here too, so you guys can follow up and just follow and watch and learn too. So thanks again for joining in, and I will see you guys next time. Also reach out to me and message me.